Going forward, the majority chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee and the Senate Finance Committee will have nearly unlimited power to target and make public the tax returns of private citizens. And not just private citizens, political enemies, business and labor leaders, or even the returns of Supreme Court justices themselves.
Is that a promise? Don't threaten me with a good time if you ain't gonna follow through.
No party in Congress should have that power. No individuals in Congress should have that power. It's a power to embarrass, to harass, or destroy Americans through disclosure of their tax returns.
I mean, if your tax returns show you're irresponsible with money or willing to be bribed, hell yeah, you should be embarrassed or harassed by the press and your high political aspirations completely destroyed. Kevin Brady here, who is the House Ways and Means Committee ranking member and a 2020 election challenger, thinks his committee's demand that Trump's tax returns become public is congressional overreach, looking into the records of a private citizen. But Americans from both parties have said since 2016 that Trump owes us that transparency. Republicans are just refusing to acknowledge that Trump had something to hide, that politicians lose certain privacy rights because they are accountable to the public, and that presidents have been releasing tax returns since Nixon, who was a Republican. And the GOP is constantly going after the Pelosi's, calling out their insider trading and their corporate bribes.
I think it's ironic that the Speaker of the House now talks about bringing up a bill at the very end of the term of Congress. So her husband could trade all the way through, but now it becomes a crisis? Look, I think the Speaker of the House has greater determination of what comes to the floor, what gets out of the committee. And her husband didn't just trade stock, he traded options.
They also want investigations into Hunter and Joe Biden's financial activities around the globe.
He also denied having any financial benefit from Hunter Biden. What we've proven today is not only did he know about Hunter's shady business dealings with our adversaries in Ukraine, Russia, and China, but he also was going to be an active part of that.
So they do want transparency, but only from one side of the aisle, because their side also accepts bribes, buys stock through insider information, and, well, has Donald Trump. So they don't want to lose their privileges or upset the kingmaker. Democrats need to build a backbone and start calling out Republicans regularly on their hypocrisy. Let's make it law that any candidate for federal office in any branch of government must disclose 10 years of tax returns. Let's bring back the For the People Act that included that stipulation. And let's eliminate candidates for office who lie, cheat, steal for a living, are willing to negotiate with the highest bidder, and refuse to show his tax returns when he promised back in 2016 he'd show them. Oh, I'm back to Trump again. Well, his story is a prime example of how we can't intrinsically trust politicians to make unselfish decisions, while we still allow a lot of loopholes in government for private profit. Trump lied for years about being audited. He hired an IRS commissioner who doesn't believe in the wealthy paying taxes at all.
Reddick has characterized tax scofflaws as well-intentioned citizens who want to hand over their fair share but simply lack the necessary knowledge.
He had many conflicts of interest. He broke precedent by being less transparent about his financial past than previous presidents.
I'm not releasing the tax returns because, as you know, they're under audit.
A routine audit.
A routine audit.
Just a routine audit.
It's under routine audit.
I'm under a routine audit.
Under a regular audit. I mean, it's just a regular audit.
You don't release your returns until the audit's complete.
And a good chunk of this country just accepted that as how America works, especially Republican lawmakers. The president does not subvert the law without consequence. Just because he does not make it okay. Republicans know this. So checks and balances? Yes, please. I'd like to see itemized records of both before anyone becomes a judge, a congressperson, cabinet member, agency official, or president or vice president. Let's revisit banning congressional stock trading, dark money in campaigns. What kind of federal spending has been wasted on initiatives that filled politicians' wallets? What ethical loopholes have Republicans, the Trump administration, and corporate Democrats exploited that we have to close? Who needs to be voted out because they've only used their job to make extra money? Let's tell all the politicians the burden of proof is on them. And let's be aggressive if we have to.
Instead of live, laugh, love, we're embarrass, harass, destroy. That's what we're
Through transparency.
That's our mantra.
Hey guys, what story should I do next? Let me know in the comments. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday break. 'Tis the season to keep the hope. And I'll see you next time.